We can start, ma'am.
Only 25 joined, ma'am.
No problem, ma'am. They're keeping on logging in. Within few
No,
seconds,
let them
they'll come.
Yeah. Please, please.
గ్లాస్ తిరగేయడానికి
Sridevi ma'am, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because 31 joined, so let us not waste the time. Again, good afternoon, friends. So far, we have dealt about yoga. So, why I have dealt yoga in detail? Because the foundation, strong foundation in yoga, is a must for yoga therapy. Because in yoga therapy, what you should not do is more important than what you are doing. Because again, the principle ahimsa comes. So you should not injure the patient. Okay. See, what is yoga therapy? Yoga therapy is nothing but 80% of the yoga. See, you are applying the yogic techniques and you are trying to solve the patient's problems, physical ailments or mental ailments. So this is in brief about the yoga therapy. See, in yoga therapy, Krishnamacharya is the pioneer. So actually, he is the one who has used yogic therapies to heal patients who are suffering from problems. He has used a unique technique called Vini Yoga. See, V means special, Ni means constant and continuous. So by constantly and continuously applying yogic principles with the modifications according to the necessity, according to the need, and according to the capability of the person, you can give yoga therapy. See, if the person is not capable, you should not give Sirasasana or this thing like that. So you have to analyze the patient, and the yoga therapy is actually, it is tailor made. நம்ம எப்படி வந்து ஒரு துணி கடைக்கு போய் நம்ம அளவு கொடுத்து தைச்சுக்கிறோமோ அந்த மாதிரி. It is not ready made, it is tailor made, it is unique for the individual. So in yoga therapy, we should not conduct group classes. We have to conduct one-to-one class, because no two, actually the two people, they may have the same problem, but their body constitution, their capacity, their reactions, it will differ. So number one principle, you should not give yoga therapy in a group setting. One-to-one approach is a must for yoga therapy. But whereas for giving general yoga group practice, you can give. All of you, please note this point. Don't give group classes for yoga therapy. Don't think that, oh, I have got 10 cervical spondylosis patients, or 10 varicose vein patients, 10 obesity patients. Don't do like that. This is number one. So the constitution differs, the individual preferences differs, so everything differs. So the first of all, in yoga therapy, before giving any asanas, see, we have to give some sort of warm-up exercises, because if you give warm-up sessions only, it will loosen and it will bring flexibility to all the body parts, especially the joints. So without giving any warm-up exercises or Shitilikarma Vyayama, so don't go for any asanas or pranayama or anything. Our Krishnamacharya actually, he divided the yoga therapy into 4 types. So one is Shrishti Krama. Shrishti means growth. See, it is mainly Shrishti Krama is given for children. See, children, they are always active, they are dynamic, they want to grow, they want to learn. So you have to devise the yogic practices in such a way that it will be beneficial for the growth, physical growth as well as intellectual growth, and they should be free from diseases. It should improve their immunity. So he has given one formula. I will give you few formulas, so it will be useful to you. For Shrishti Karma, especially for children, asana, the ratio I will give you, asana, pranayama and meditation, 4:2:1. So you should concentrate more on asanas, less on pranayama and least on meditation. So you should always try to improve their flexibility and try to strengthen their muscles and also all the organs. So this is about Shrishti Krama. So you can give this up to 10 to 12 years. Next is even you can do Shrishti Krama to teenagers. Next is Sikshana Krama. First, try to understand the meaning. First one is Shrishti means growth, so it is applicable for children. Next is Sikshana Krama. Sikshana means perfection. So after teenage, so you must be in a college or you must be in a professional thing, or you want to settle in life. So for that, perfection is necessary. You should not do things in a weary manner. So you need perfection, because foundation is necessary to lead a family life or settle in life or to get a good job. So here you have to choose the practices, so which will give you perfection in your physical body as well as your mental body as well as your spiritual or all the koshas. So what you can do here, you can practice asana, pranayama and bandha. See, you have to control yourself. So for that, bandha is also included. Here the Krishnamacharya says the ratio is 2:4:1. That is 2 applies for asana, that is less asana, more pranayama, and least for bandhas. 2:4:1. 2 for asana, 4 for pranayama, and 1 for bandha. This is about Sikshana Krama. Next is Rakshana Krama. What do you mean by the word Raksha? Raksha means protection. So now, after youth, you are become middle-aged. So you have to protect your body from the lifestyle disorders or anything, because you are the pillar of your family and you have to take care of the family and also the society. Don't mistake me. You have to see the middle-aged persons. They should take care of the society and also the family, not only the family. So for that, they have to protect their body and also the mind. So here, what are the, see, what they need is protection, relaxation, and rejuvenation. So here the Krishnamacharya prescribes the tools as pranayama, dhyana, mantra, meditation. So these are all the tools. Here there is no ratio. They can do according to their requirement, necessity, and capability. And last one comes yoga therapy. It is Sikitcha Krama. See, Sikitcha means treatment or therapy. See here, the desire or the interest must be there for the therapist as well as the health seeker. Suppose if the therapist is more interested and the patient is not interested, the yoga therapy will not work. The patient is more interested and the therapist is not interested, the yoga therapy will not work. So there is a desire to help. See, the patient must have the desire to help his body and the therapist must have a desire to help the patient. So that is why it is known as there is a give and take balance between the therapist and the seeker, and it is both complementary. So here in yoga therapy, you are addressing the root cause. In allopathy or other systems, they are only giving symptomatic treatment, but whereas alternative systems like yoga, Ayurveda, Siddha, or anything, naturopathy and yoga, see, they are actually removing the root cause. In homeopathy, there are two causes. One is exciting cause and another one is maintaining cause. So similarly, yoga, it removes the root cause. And yoga therapy, we are following the holistic approach. Uh, See, you are taking care of the, according to Taittiriya Upanishad, there are 5 koshas, which is known as Pancha Kosha. Pancha means 5, Kosha means layer. So there are 5 sheets of existence in man. The physical body, it is made up of food. So it is known as Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food. Maya means pervasion. Kosha means layer. So our physical body is totally pervaded by the food. So for this, if you have some problem in the physical level, you can give asana, you can give kriya. That's why I've explained about kriya. So you can give asana, that is physical postures. You can give kriya, cleansing, and diet is very important. In yoga, there are 3 diets: sattvic diet, rajasic diet, and tamasic diet. Actually, vegetarian food is the best food because all the plants, fruits, vegetables, they get direct energy from the sun. So they are the primary sources of the energy. So here the herbivores, they are all taking. Again, the carnivores, they are eating the herbivores and they are getting only the secondary source of energy. For example, the sun is having 100% energy. And we, the vegetarians, we are consuming vegetables, fruits, everything. So we are getting nearly 75 to 90% of the energy. So now you tell me whether vegetarian food will give you more energy or non-vegetarian food will give you more energy. It is easily digestible. It is easy to take, easy to prepare, and it is easy to remove the waste products also. It gives you energy, clarity, everything. But whereas the non-vegetarian food, no, again from the herbivores, again the carnivores are taking. So it is a secondary source of energy. So you may get the energy from 25% to 50% only. This is the basic thing. And you have to think one thing, that our human body, you just take example of our teeth and you just observe the teeth of the dog. See, here our incisors are developed. You are having only 2 canine teeth, not like dogs. So our teeth is not meant for tearing, crushing, or like that. See, you have to cut, you have to chew, you have to masticate, you have to mix. Actually, the process of carbohydrate metabolism starts in the mouth itself with the help of the tile. That is why in Tamil, Norungathindral Nuru Vayadu Vayalam. So if you take your food properly, that too slowly, and you should not watch television or computer while taking food. You should concentrate your food and eat. Suppose if you watch television and eat your food, you are following all the emotions. So you are following their worries and you are gulping along with the food. So while taking food, don't enter into heated arguments, don't watch television, or don't do any other thing. Please worship food as God and eat. So that is the importance of vegetarian food. So sattvic diet, I need not explain, all you yogis know very well. So it is having vegetables, fruits, pulses, cereals, legumes, and whole grain food, freshly prepared food. So which gives you more energy. It relaxes your mind, and your thoughts must be pure, and you should not injure others. So next is rajasic food. Sometimes we may need rajasic food, because rajasic food, it is mostly important for olden days kings, and nowadays army people, because they want more energy, they want a valor, vigor, so that they can fight. Suppose if we feel very low, you can take little amount of rajasic food. There is nothing wrong with that. But you never take tamasic food, because tamasic food are canned food, packed food, refrigerated food, and spoiled and stale food. So it will not give you energy. You will get very bad thoughts. You will get, I've explained, no, what are all the obstacles. So you will get all dhyana, what that laziness, why I should do like that. And you always want to lie down, and you will not do anything. So tamasic food is not at all useful for us. So again, this completes Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha, asana, kriya, diet, and relaxation. See, we need some rest also. See, without rest, you cannot work continuously. Next comes Pranamaya Kosha. Actually, Pranamaya Kosha, it acts as a bridge between the physical body and the mind. You can reach your body only with the help of the prana or breathing. If you want to reach your body, similarly, you can reach your body also through the prana. For example, I will tell you, so, somebody who is very close to us, they met with an accident or some death news. So immediately, after see, this acts in the manomaya kosha. So the manomaya kosha is affected. Immediately, what we will do, we will get rapid breathing, shallow breathing, and sweating and all. And similarly, in the Annamaya kosha also, we will not get proper appetite, we will not take proper food, we will not sleep properly, and our digestion is impaired, our function of the heart and all the organs are impaired. Next is Vinyanamaya Kosha. See, for Manomaya Kosha, what you have to do, meditation, and you can listen something good things. So that is why you can correct Manomaya Kosha. Next is Vinyanamaya Kosha. Vinyanamaya Kosha is the intellect body. See, it only does all the inductive and deductive logic. It will say whether it is correct or wrong, whether to do things or not. So, by notional correction, see, most of the time we may have wrong ideas about particular person or particular thing, or even about our disease. See, in my clinic, most of the patients know they will come with the ideas on their own. That is why they are suffering. So, Vinyanamaya Kosha, we have to make notional correction. So, they should get correct knowledge about their disease and correct knowledge about their lifestyle problems, and they should try to correct it. So, that is why correct knowledge is very important. It acts on the Vinyanamaya Kosha. And last but not the least is Anandamaya Kosha. Here, one thing you will be surprised. Here comes Karma Yoga. See, if you do happily your things, you will be in a state of Ananda, blissful state. So this leads to Anandamaya. So this is called as integrated approach of yoga therapy. That is, if any patient comes to you, you have to treat the patient in all the levels. You have to treat the patient in all the levels. That is Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vinyanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. Suppose if the person is having a lot of problems, blood pressure, diabetes and all, and after detailed case taking, and you come to know that he didn't like his job. So what do you have to do? You have to do nostril correction. And you can treat all the things. See, similarly, you can reach from Annamaya to Pranamaya, Pranamaya to Manomaya, Manomaya to Vijnanamaya, like that. Or from Manomaya, you can reach the body, something like that. So, this is called as integrated approach for yoga therapy. So, what is the... See, you should know what are the differences between allopathic system and yoga therapy. I have already explained. I will give it in a short this thing. In yoga therapy, we are addressing the individual as a whole. See, we are not giving importance to right eye separately, left eye separately, right hand separately, left hand separately, like that. So we are treating the individual as a whole, and we are making the patient active, and we are making them to treat their own disease. So in yoga therapy, we are not using any medicine, or we are not doing any surgery. Okay, so there is no internal source. So we are treating the patient totally internally, and actually we are making the patient to involve all their body parts from head to toe. So it gives you long-term benefit and absolutely no side effects. So this is the thing. And there are many types of yoga therapy. That is Sharira Sikicha, means Sharira means body. You can treat the body by giving modified asanas. See, for yoga therapy, it is not possible for you to give classical yoga postures. See, you have to diagnose the patient, you have to find out what is the problem, and you have to modify the asana. Any asana you have to modify and give. This is number one. Next is prana sikicha. Similarly, you have to modify pranayama techniques also. See, you cannot give hold or kumbhaka initially. See, for example, if the patient is having a heart problem, high blood pressure, severe asthmatic, you should not give any hold. You should not give any kumbhaka initially. See, like that, there are so many modifications. So, next is the manosikicha. You can treat the mind by pranayama or chants or visualization, bhavanas, some sort of imagination or some sounds. Next, you can give indriya sikicha. That is, you have to treat all the five senses. Again, aharam means food, viharam, that is our thoughts. Next is our withdrawal from the senses. So unnecessary withdrawal from the senses will definitely tune our indriyas. And last one is adhyatmika sikicha, which means you can practice something. In Sanskrit, we can call it as adhyanam. That is, you can practice. It is like a swadhyaya. You can, even the elders, they are going to Kashi, Rameshwaram, something like that. It is a kind of sikicha only. Then they can perform yajnas or something like that. So they can involve them. They can involve themselves in spiritual practices like that. So these are all the things, and I would like to tell few basic features of yoga therapy. So in yoga therapy, ahimsa is very important. Always you should keep your patient in a comfortable zone. For example, if you are asking the patient to raise their legs in Uttara Padasana, or see, if it is possible for them to raise only 30 degrees, if they raise 45 or 60 degrees, if they are having pain, means you should not ask them to do for 45 or 60 degrees. So they can do it 30 degrees for some time, and after that, with the help of pranayama, you can focus 45 degrees, and after getting comfortable with that, you can increase 60, 90 like that. So this is, for example, I am telling. So ahimsa, you have to keep the patient in the comfortable zone. So there are three zones. One is comfortable zone. Next is strain zone. Patient can stretch a little bit, and they can try. But if they have some problem, they may not be. Again, the last one is uh, pain zone. You should never keep your patient in a pain zone. So always you should try to bring the patient from the pain zone to strain zone to comfortable zone. That is yoga therapy. And yoga is union. Here you are making a union of the... See, what is the WHO definition for health? So health is the well-being of physical, physiological, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social well-being. See, this is the latest WHO definition for health. But our rishis, they have coined all these definitions 5,000 years back. So you just see. Okay. So next is the work with the mind. See, always you apply your mind and work. See, without application of the work, if you do some work, it will injure your physical body. So you should apply with your mind. Next, importance of breath. See, always we should involve the breath while giving yoga therapy, because when your breath is fast, your thinking is fast. When your breath is slow, your thinking is slow. Similarly, see, you know the lifespan of dogs or something like that, and the lifespan of tortoise and elephant. See, the elephant, the tortoise can live up to 300 years. But the dog, it can live only up to 4 to 16 years, because the dogs, they breathe very fast, shallow breathing. But tortoise, it breathes very slowly and deep breathing. So animals are teaching us how to breathe and how to live. So you should use breath as a tool, and you should use body as the tool for doing asanas or kriyas or anything else. So these are all the important things, and you should think of the place, time, everything. So desha, kala, and also the patient's age. See, if the patient is 80 years old, you should not ask them to do dynamic postures, and you should not ask them to do 108 times Surya Namaskar. See, you can ask youngsters to do 108 times Surya Namaskar, but not the old people. Similarly, you should assess the capability, that is the Shakti, and also you should assess the willingness of the patient. If the patient is not willing, they will not at all cooperate for us. And also you should assess the nature of the ailment, whether it is of short duration or long duration, whether it is of intense nature. All those you should think. And there are 4 important terms in yoga therapy. Heyam means the complaints of the patient, for which the patient has come to you. This is called as Heyam. So you should try to get the details of the patient's complaint. Next, you should find out the cause. The cause is known as Hetu, means cause. So what are the causes? Any genetic factors, or any lifestyle problems, or any aggravating factors, which means, for example, if the patient is having slip disc or lumbar spondylosis, and if the patient bends forward, it will aggravate his problem. So without bending, if the patient do something, it will not aggravate the problem. Similarly, you should find, and in yoga therapy, you should facilitate the postures which will give comfort to the patient. These are known as ameliorating factors. So in yoga therapy, you should cultivate the ameliorating factors, and you should eradicate the aggravating factors. This is the epitome of homeopathy, the homeopathy and also yoga therapy. Next is Hanam. Hanam means goal. You have to fix the goal. So the goals may be short term, long term. So if the patient is having severe pain in the neck or back or stomach pain or knee joint pain, you should first set short-term goal. So initially, you should ask the patient to take the medicines, or they can apply some external applications. When the pain subsides, you can teach your yoga therapy. And in the long term, you can think of the disease should not recur. So you can think of asana, pranayama, or something like that, and you can go accordingly. And next is upayam. In Tamil, you know, upayam, enna vali, what are the tools? See, all the yogic techniques are tools in yoga therapy. For example, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, om chanting, mantras, visualization, bhavanas, auto suggestions, biofeedback, and whatnot. They are all the tools. And one important thing in yoga therapy, always you should give counter poses. If you give forward bending, you should give backward bending. And if you give workout in the right side, similarly you should give workout on the left side also. For any twist or anything, you should give forward bending means backward bending, like that. Always you please focus on the counter poses. So for that you need a detailed
Shamla
examination.
ma'am, we have 10 minutes, ma'am. 10 more minutes.
Yeah, Yeah. We can, they can ask questions, ma'am.
Now the session is open for questions. As ma'am is a homeopathic doctor, you can explore your, you can take the knowledge of homeopathy as well as yoga from ma'am. Open to you for questions, please.
Ma'am, please explain homeopathy.
I can't hear. Excuse me. Please repeat the question.
Ma'am, please explain homeopathy.
Hello, ma'am. Could you please tell me the question, because
Ma'am, the question is like he's asking, the participant is asking about the homeopathy.
What is homeopathy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, homeopathy is a alternative system, and actually it was founded by Dr. Christian Friedrich Samuel Hahnemann. He was an allopathic doctor. So while treating his patients with allopathic medicines, the disease is keeping on recurring, and there was no proper cure. So he invented homeopathy. Homeo means similar, pati means suffering. So the homeo means similar and pati means sufferings. So what it can produce similar problems in the healthy individuals, it is capable of curing in the diseased individuals. In Tamil, I can say, ஒத்ததை ஒத்ததே குணமாக்கும் முள்ளை முள்ளால் எடுக்கலாம். In the principle is similia similibus curanter. Let likes be treated by likes. So this is the principle. Allopathic principle is contraria contrarius curanter. So that is why we are finding all the cause, and we are trying to see, like yoga therapy, we will see the patient as a whole. We will study their physical body, their mind, and we will try to individualize the patient. See, in homeopathy, for a single ailment, we cannot give the same medicine for all. So that is the unique feature of homeopathy. So it is one of the best alternative system. It is having no side effects, and you can take this homeopathy with any other system.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, sir. Ma'am, any questions?
Thank you, madam.
Yes. Ma'am, question please. I can't hear.
Muthuramalingam, are you asking the question? Any other questions, please, from participants? Suresh, can you be
Hello?
clear? Can you repeat your
Yeah,
question?
Tamil கேளுங்க. தமிழ்ல கேளுங்க. ஒண்ணும் பிரச்சனை இல்ல.
ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, நாங்க ரிசர்ச்லாம் நாங்க பண்ணுவோம். 15 பேருக்கு தெரபி கொடுத்து நாங்க பண்றோம்.
சார், நீங்க வந்து ஆக்சுவலா சொல்ல போனா யோகா தெரப்பி வந்து இண்டிவிஜுவலா கொடுத்தா தான் பெஸ்ட் சார். பிகாஸ் நம்ம 20 பேருக்கும் ஒரே மாதிரி பிராக்டிஸ் மாடிஃபிகேஷன் பண்ண முடியாது சார். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஒரு ஜடக பிரகிருதி கொடுக்குறீங்க, இல்ல ஒரு பட்சிமாத்தாசனா கொடுக்குறீங்க, ஏன் ஒரு தாடாசனா கொடுக்குறீங்க, விருட்சாசனா எது கொடுத்தாலுமே ஒரே மாதிரி பேஷண்ட்னு வரும்போது கொடுக்க முடியாது சார். ஸோ தெரப்பி இஸ் டோட்டலி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் நார்மல் யோகா ப்ராக்டிஸ். நீங்களே பார்க்கும்போது தெரியும், எல்லாராலையும் ஒரே மாதிரி செய்ய முடியாது. சரி, இவ்வளோ ஏன் புஜங்காசனாவே எடுத்துக்கோங்க. ஒரு சிலருக்கு வந்து சர்விக்கல் ஸ்பைன்ல பெயின் வரும், ஒரு சிலருக்கு தொராசிக்ல பெயின் வரும், ஒரு சிலருக்கு லம்பார்ல பெயின் வரும். ஸோ அக்கார்டிங்லி யூ ஹவ் டு மாடிஃபை. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி மாடிஃபிகேஷன்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு ஆசனாலேயோ இல்லை பிராணாயாமாலேயோ ஏன் ஈவன் ஒரு மெடிடேஷன்லையோ எதுலையோ கொடுக்கும்போது நம்ம வந்து ஒரே ப்ராக்டிஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் நிச்சயமா கொடுக்க முடியாது சார். அப்படி கொடுத்தாலும் அது ரொம்ப இஃபெக்டிவா வராது சார். பட் இட் இஸ் ரிசர்ச் பர்பஸ். ஐ எம் டெல்லிங் ஆன் த பேசிஸ் ஆஃப் தி ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் பர்பஸ்.
மேம், பேசிக்கலா இந்த ஹோமியோபதியில யூஸ் பண்றது வந்து ஸ்வீட்னர் தானே? அந்த பால்ஸ் வந்துட்டு ஸ்வீட்னர், அதாவது இனிப்பு.
புரியாது, தமிழ்ல சொல்லுங்க, ஒன்னும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ஆமா சார், அந்த பால்ஸ் எல்லாம் இனிப்பா இருக்கும் சார். அதனால சுகர் ஏறுமான்னு
இல்ல, அதனால சுகர் ஏறுமான்னு கேட்கறத விட, அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்வீட்னர் இருக்கிறத வந்து சுகர் ஏறாததுனாலன்னு வந்து ஹோமியோபதி டாக்டர் சொல்லி எடுத்து, அதுக்கப்புறமா அவங்க திரும்ப அவங்களுக்கு சுகர் ஏறின சிம்டம் வந்து ஏற்பட்டனால அவங்க திரும்ப செக் பண்ணி பார்க்கும்போது அவங்களுக்கு சுகர் ஏறி இருக்கு அப்படின்னு வந்து வருது. சோ இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது சொல்லுங்க.
இல்ல இது எனக்கு புரிஞ்சிருது எனக்கு நீங்க சொல்றது. இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் வந்து எங்க குளோபுல்ஸ் சார் சுகர்னா என்ன சார்? இப்போ நீங்க எல்லாம் சுகர்னு சொல்றீங்க. see increased glucose level, அதுக்கு பேர் தான் சார் டயபெட்டிஸ். see there are many types of sugar. இப்போ வந்து சுக்ரோஸ் சொல்லலாம், மால்டோஸ் சொல்லலாம், ஃப்ரக்டோஸ் சொல்லலாம், குளுக்கோஸ் சொல்லலாம், எல்லாம் சொல்லலாம். பட் வந்து டயபெட்டிஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து ஒரு increased blood glucose level in the body beyond the prescribed limit is known as diabetes mellitus. see எங்க homeopathic globules வந்து it is not made up of glucose. it is definitely not made up of glucose. so நாங்க நிறைய பார்த்துட்டோம், இந்த globules வந்து சாப்பிடுறதுனால டெஃபினட்டா ஒருத்தருடைய blood sugar வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகாது. அவங்களுக்கு blood sugar இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருந்தால் there may be so many reasons. ஒன்னு உணவு கட்டுப்பாடு இல்லாம இருந்திருக்கலாம், இல்ல உணவு அதாவது உடல் பயிற்சிகள் இல்லாம இருந்திருக்கலாம், இல்ல ரொம்ப மனக்கவலை. ஒண்ணும் வேணாம் சார், எதுவுமே வேண்டாம். ஒரு கவலைப்பட்டீங்கனாலே 100-200 பாயிண்ட் சர்றன்னு ஏறுறது நாங்க பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ ஒரு சிம்பிள் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் கேன் இன்க்ரீஸ். ஸோ டெஃபினட்டா வந்து ஹோமியோபதிக் குளோபியூல்ஸ் வந்து சாப்பிட்றதுனால கண்டிப்பா பிளட் சுகர் எஸ்பெஷலி பிளட் குளுக்கோஸ் லெவல் ஏறாது. நிச்சயமா என்னால சொல்ல முடியும்.
தேங்க்யூ மேம்.
ஓகே சார்.
We are coming to the end of this session, ma'am. Shamla ma'am, we thank you very much for having given us time, apart from looking your patients and regular schedule, and shared your experience with all the participants here. We thank you on behalf of Faculty of Yoga Sciences and Therapy, Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research Institution, Chennai, deemed to be university. And we thank you once again, ma'am, from on behalf of everyone, each and every participant, as well as the faculty. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much all for students for your patient hearing. Thanks Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education, and thank you Dr. Ilangovan sir was given me the opportunity. So அதாவது ஒரு தமிழ்ல ஒரு திருவள்ளுவர் ஒரே ஒரு வார்த்தை சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அதை மட்டும் நான் சொல்லிட்டு முடிச்சுக்கிறேன். நோய் நாடி நோய் முதல் நாடி, அந்த மாதிரி சொல்றாரு. அதாவது எப்படின்னா வந்து நோய் நாடி நோய் முதல் நாடி அது தணிக்கும் வாய் நாடி வாய்ப்பை செயல். I'll explain in English. நோய் நாடி means you have to diagnose the disease. நோய் முதல் நாடி means cause of the disease. அது தணிக்கும் வாய் நாடி, how we can cure these diseases, வாய்ப்பை செயல். You have to apply accordingly. This Tirukkural holds good for yoga, therapy, homeopathy, and all the alternative systems. So our ancestors, our saints are really great. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hope you all
ma'am, can I ask session. One question?
Yes ma'am, the time is only 1 minute. Ask fast.
Yeah, my dad is having sugar, ma'am, so he is taking medicine also, so he can change it to Ayurvedic medicine immediately.
See,
or
no, he is taking allopathic medicine, no?
Yeah ma'am.
See, the main thing is don't stop allopathic medicines abruptly. It is the mistake you are doing. See, your body is accustomed to that medicine. So he can take other systems, or even he can do yoga along with allopathic medicine, and gradually when his blood sugar level starts reducing, he can gradually reduce the dose and withdraw. All of you, my humble request, don't abruptly stop the medicines. It is not good for your health.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good question, ma'am.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shamla ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll end this session here. Thank you very much.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, madam. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you.
Thank you, madam. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Thank you very much, students, for your patient hearing for 2 hours continuously. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
கலெக்ஷன் எவ்வளவு வந்திருக்கு?